Hi there everybody, I'm Amanda Gordon with the Facial RX here in Spring, Texas. I wanted to do just a quick little introduction to this series of Dermalogica Institute videos. These are not my videos. I did not film these. They come directly from the CEO and instructor of Dermalogica Institute. These videos probably are more than 20 years old, but they do give some great examples of old school techniques as well as techniques that we still use today. I do apologize for the blurriness and graininess on some of these videos. There's not much I can do about that, but these are excellent teaching videos that I just wanted to make sure that are able to be shared and that you have the information in order to properly implement some of these techniques. All right, let's take a look.
The next part of our treatment is the massage. You have many options on this type of skin, but the key is that we need to stimulate that lackluster, sluggish skin. Now, I could use my International Skincare Techniques massage that you saw in our previous DVD. I could also use manual advanced face massage techniques that you can learn with us at the International Dermal Institute. But because we're really focusing on those advanced techniques and I want to show you some different technology today, we're going to use the high frequency. Now, high frequency you may all be familiar with the direct application for an oily acne skin, but we can also use high frequency in the indirect manner for a lackluster prematurely aged skin. We need to make sure that we're using the correct electrode. This is called a saturator electrode. Mine's solid metal and it's surrounded by glass. You may have on your machine one that's glass that has a metal spiral down the middle. They're actually the same attachment, just a slightly different version. They'll do exactly the same job for you. Now, what we're doing with the indirect high frequency is we're actually creating a circuit current. So my client is holding the electrode and I am completing the circuit once I put my hands on my client. Making sure that we use a towel so that if you have to put some pressure on your electrode to get it into the handle, that you're not going to shatter that glass on your hand. So always make sure that you have good safety precautions, not just for your client, but for you as well. Now, I've already explained to my client that they're going to be holding a device. So I'm going to bring this around for Raylyn here. She's going to hold the top and the bottom. Now you can see here I have over her chest a towel. This is really a security measure. I'm going to wrap it over her hands in a figure of 8. So Raylyn's going to feel far more secure holding that electrode. But also because this is massage, Raylyn may actually fall asleep or drift off or really start relaxing. So it's going to ensure that she's not going to let go of that electrode during that point in time. Now, because it is a massage, I need to have some slip and glide on the skin. So I'm going to start off with an essential oil. I want to use a pre-blended essential oil. Never put essential oils directly on the skin. And I'm using a blend that's going to be very revitalizing. It's stimulating for the skin. So we're making sure that we're really getting that skin up and running. Because an essential oil blend really isn't going to be giving me enough slip and glide, over the top of that, I'm going to apply a massage cream. Now, this is the same massage cream you saw us use for our European style massage. It's a water-soluble massage cream, so it's going to give me fantastic slip and glide. It's oil-based, so it's great for that drier, more prematurely aged skin. But also it's water soluble. So it's very easy for us to be able to remove at the end of the treatment. So I'm going to do a couple of spreading movements just to make sure that I have that product exactly where I want it over the face. Working all the way behind the back of the shoulders and around the eye area, bringing the product up onto the forehead. Now I need to have one hand in contact with my client at all times when I turn the machine on. If I do not, and I put my fingers onto my client, I'm going to spark them. I'm going to give them a little shock. So I need to make sure any time that that current is active, I'm in contact, so I'm always completing that circuit. So I'm making sure we're down to 0. I'm turning my machine on, and then I'm gently turning it up. So we can hear that same tingling noise. And I will feel a very mild tingling in my fingertips. My client will also feel a tingling sensation. That feel comfortable for you? I'm going to bring on my second hand, and we're going to do light circular movements. I could follow the same European massage techniques that you have previously learnt, but the lighter the pressure that you're using with indirect high frequency, the more stimulating it is. So what we're actually doing here is stimulating blood circulation. We're also stimulating lymphatic fluid, and we're also stimulating sebaceous secretions. So this isn't a product or a technique that we want to use for an oily skin. It's definitely more for that dry, prematurely aging skin. But we want to get those sebaceous secretions working, so we're adding more oil to the surface of the skin. We want to stimulate the circulation. When we get a fresh interchange of blood through the tissues, we also get a fresh interchange of blood through the muscles. So I'm actually relaxing the muscle groups down without having to put any pressure on my client whatsoever. This is ideal for that client that really needs to have that stimulation on their skin, but is not able to tolerate a European style massage. So possibly a client that has some solar elastosis or that has a looser, slacker skin. I can lift one hand up. The current is going to be concentrated on the other hand. So the less contact I have, the stronger it's going to be in that particular area. So for example, if I'm just using 2 fingers around the eye area like so, I'm going to get a really concentrated stimulation around that area. As soon as I put my other fingers back down, I'm going to be spreading out that current slightly more. So concentrating on any areas where I can see that it's lackluster, where it's devitalized, where I'm having any kind of issues with that skin at all, where I need some revitalizing properties. We can do the indirect high frequency anywhere from 8 to 15 minutes. So just as you would do your normal massage routine. When we're ready to remove, make sure one hand stays on the client. I'm going to turn down and off before I remove my second hand. So the only movements you're not going to be able to do with indirect high frequency is any kind of tapotement movements, because you're going to be sparking that client. You may sometimes read the indirect high frequency as being called a Viennese massage. It's exactly the same thing. Making sure that I remove that electrode from my client's hand. It's quite easy to forget when it's wrapped up in that towel to take that away.